Hi, this is Rosalind Sharples, presenting Attachment and Communication, a production by Transactional Analysis Cymru. Making contact. How do we learn about relationships? Well, you remember the psychological hungers. These are an idea that Eric Berne came up with. The first one is contact. How we get close to each other. The next is structure, how we make meaning of time in order to organize our lives. And then stimulation, how we have fun. I'd like to look at how we communicate with others. This is part of the psychological hunger, contact. We learn contact from the relationships we have had over our lifetime, starting with the first ones. Through this, we learn to attach to others. The attachment cycle is based on the idea that infants naturally reach out to their caregivers, expecting to be met with a reaching out in response. This is a natural process that supports attachment and ensures survival for the vulnerable infant. Reaching out and being responded to teaches the young person about relationship and communication. Each person continues and develops these patterns through all the relationships they have over a lifetime. So in the end, each person has their own unique way of doing this. A wonderful teacher called Adrian Lee has drawn this idea in a diagram. The infant reaches out to the mother and she meets him with the response he hopes for. From this we learn how to make contact to other people as we grow up. It's the foundation to developing a healthy relationship. This takes us to another diagram that looks at how we communicate. It's called the communication cycle. There are 4 ways that communication can be sent and received. How I send the information out, how you receive it. How you send the information to me, and how I receive it. And it's great when it all goes well and everybody understands each other. But what happens when we get the communication wrong? This is one outcome. Familiar? Or this? There's this, a sense of confusion. When communication goes wrong, we can end up feeling sad, angry, lonely, or confused. So, it's important to know what went wrong. You remember this diagram? Where do you think it might have gone wrong? Well, there are 4 ways. So, it starts with the self. We try and communicate something, a bit like when you start the ball rolling with what you say to another person. And then the other person has a go at catching or receiving whatever it is that you've sent them. When the person who has received the communication misunderstands it, then sometimes they throw it back wrong too. And then you receive something that you didn't expect. So that's all happening in the here and now, between 2 people talking or throwing a ball. But when communication goes wrong in the present, we can often end up feeling sad, angry, or lonely, like we did when we were a child. In fact, what's happened is that we've been reminded of something in the past that really hurt. So what do you do about it? Do you remember that story by Claude Steiner, all about the warm fuzzies? It's a child's story, but there is something important at the heart. When we have enough of what we need, we tend to feel more giving, loving, and resilient. So we make a choice over how we talk to each other, which sets up a positive feedback loop. This can radically change the way people feel about themselves, which can then change how they behave to you and others in the future. At that moment, when you think you or somebody else might have said something hurtful, before you react, stop. Take a big breath and see if you can do something different. A reaction you haven't had before. It might change everything. If you've enjoyed this production by Transactional Analysis Cymru, please do get in touch with us and ask us anything you would like to at the following website address: transactionalanalysistraining.co.uk. Bye-bye.